Your 4th of July is never gonna be the same. The swirl cookies, your grandkids and your kids will not be able to resist. Perfect for almost any occasion. Just change the colors and you've got a new cookie. These 4th of July cookies are an easy holiday dessert that will get you into the patriotic spirit. 1 1/3 cups of sugar going in. Festive red, white, and blue pinwheel cookies are perfect for Independence Day. These cookies epitomize celebration. The swirl of patriotic colors makes you want to bite into the buttery, sweet, deliciously chewy cookie. Get the sides wiped down into the mixture and let it go for another minute or so until it's really light and yellow. All right, now it's time for the flour. I'm adding 3 cups of flour. The instructions for these festive cookies may seem a little intimidating at first glance, but the process is actually really simple. Gonna add a pinch of salt. All right, put that on high for a minute. You can make color variations for each time of year. For example, pastel pink and green for the spring and red and green for Christmas. These cookies are pretty and delicious as is, but feel free to add festive sprinkles, white chocolate chips, crushed peanuts, or any other toppings that strike your fancy. So this is a very sticky batter, to say the least. So I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down, and I'm gonna divide the dough into 3 parts. This is how we make the red, white, and blue. Gotta divide this into 3 separate pieces. I'm gonna make it as even as I can into like a rectangle. If you wanted to be real precise, you could get yourself the scale, but I don't think I need to be that precise. Okay, all right, one of these I'm going to flatten out into a 4x4 disc. Okay, I'm gonna move it onto a piece of saran wrap. Gonna wrap that up. And I'm gonna put that in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. Now I'm gonna put one of these back into the pot. I'm gonna mix in some red food coloring. And you can add it as you see fit. Start it off slow because you don't want that red food coloring to get all over you. Okay, I'm gonna scrape down the sides a little bit. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna let it go just another minute. I love America. There is no place like it. All of the freedom that we get to have here is fantastic. My son is actually running for Congress, and that has been a really fun experience. Okay, so I'm gonna just pat this down and make a 4x4 disc out of it as well. And then I'm gonna put it on another piece of saran wrap, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the blue. I'm gonna wash this because if I don't, the blue is not going to be blue. All right, so I have one more to do, and I'm gonna be putting the blue coloring in here. We have made these cookies every year for as long as I can remember for the 4th of July. It's a family tradition to get into the kitchen and make them. All right, so we've got our blue here, and I'm gonna form it into a disc and put it in the refrigerator for about 3 hours, or the freezer maybe for 1. And then I'm gonna bring it back out, and then you're gonna get to see the magic happen. I have my discs of dough ready to go. They've been in the refrigerator for about 3 hours now, so I'm gonna unwrap them, and I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down on a piece of parchment paper. So I have 4 pieces of parchment paper here, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes. I'm just gonna put this down here, and I'm gonna roll this out to about the size I want this, the width of the cookie to be, like 1/8 of an inch. You roll each layer out separately, layer them on top of each other with parchment paper, and then roll them out again. I'm gonna move that back here. I'm gonna bring another piece of parchment paper over, and I'm gonna do the blue. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down. All right, white, boom.
You'll stack the colors on top of each other. I did red on the bottom, white for the middle layer, and blue on the top.
My thoughts, I'm gonna flip this over, boom, and then I'm gonna roll this out. It's a very sticky dough anyway, so I don't think adding flour to it is gonna hurt anything, and it's just gonna help me when I'm rolling this out. I am gonna trim this off just a little bit to where it's even, kind of even anyway, on both sides. And these still make great cookies, so I'm gonna keep them, and I will still get some cookies made with those. Just gonna cut that right there. Now I'm gonna turn this where I can roll it, and you're gonna make a tight roll away from you. You don't want it hollow, so you wanna make sure that you get it, but you don't wanna smush it either together. So you're just gonna lightly roll it. You're gonna kind of pull it tight as you go. Okay, now, so I'm gonna roll this up in the parchment paper. Saran wrap if you wanna be neater, and you can also cut it in half and put it in there in 2 different pieces. You can also put leftovers or do this more, and you can cut these ends off, make it really, really neat, and you can put it in your freezer for up to 3 months in a freezer type container. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it chill for about 2 hours. The cookie dough has been chilling for about an hour. It's better if you can chill it longer, but this is fine. It's gonna be great. I can feel that it's pretty much ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and make these like I'm gonna make these as cookies, but I'm just gonna cut these and then put them on the cookie sheet. So I'm gonna use my best ones first. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them about a 1/2 inch thick. And then we're gonna be in business. They're gonna be so pretty. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna move these over here. You don't really need any spray, or you don't really need to butter your pan or anything like that, since you have the parchment paper. And I'm just gonna put them right down on my paper. Spread them a good distance apart. And we're gonna cook these at 350 degrees. I'm gonna get these into the oven, and then I'll get the second batch. But it makes about 1.5 sheet pans full. It's going into the oven. Okay, so we've got the swirl cookies out, and I am thrilled. I think they look really pretty. This is gonna be a great 4th of July. Here you go.
Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe for more recipes.